There are some places in this world that never appear on ordinary tourist maps. They are not crowded with visitors, not covered by travel posters, and not always easy to find on GPS. But once you step into them, something strange happens. It feels as if these places were waiting inside your dreams long before you arrived. In China, far beyond the famous cities and popular landmarks, there are hidden valleys, sacred mountains, silent lakes, and remote villages where life still moves with the rhythm of nature. These are places where the mountains are not just rocks, but living spirits for the locals. These are places where every cloud, every river, and every path seems to carry an ancient story. Today, we are not following the normal tourist route. We are entering the unseen side of China, where reality feels more magical than imagination. Across the vast map of China, nature and culture have created places so unusual that they almost feel impossible. From the high mountains of Xinjiang to the deep valleys of Sichuan, from rainbow-colored landforms to temples floating above clouds, each place reveals a different face of this ancient land. These are not the polished views usually shown in travel advertisements. They are raw, silent, sacred, and deeply real. Some places look like they were painted by nature's own hand. Some sound like they are singing with the wind. Some are so dangerous that every step feels like a test of courage, and some are so peaceful that you forget the noise of the modern world. This journey is about discovering those hidden wonders. It is about walking into places where history, mystery, and nature meet in ways that words can hardly explain. Our journey begins with Mount Huashan, one of the most sacred and terrifying mountains in China. Rising sharply into the sky, this mountain has been respected for thousands of years by Taoist monks, pilgrims, and brave travelers. Mount Huashan is not only famous for its spiritual history, but also for one of the most dangerous walking paths on Earth. High above the cliffs, narrow wooden planks affixed to the side of the mountain. Beneath your feet, there is nothing but empty space and deep valleys. The path is so narrow that every movement must be careful. But for those who dare to walk there, the reward is unforgettable. Clouds move below the cliffs, the wind hits the rocks, and the mountain feels like a bridge between earth and heaven. This is where fear and beauty stand together. Mount Huashan has a history that reaches back more than 2,000 years. Ancient Taoist monks once climbed these cliffs to meditate in silence, believing that this mountain brought them closer to the heavens. To them, Huashan was not just a mountain. It was a sacred path between the human world and the spiritual world. Even today, many travelers come here not only for adventure, but also to feel that ancient energy. The wooden plank road has become legendary around the world. Some people call it the path of death, while others see it as the ultimate test of courage. Every year, countless brave visitors step onto this terrifying trail, holding chains fixed into the rock and moving slowly above the abyss. The danger is real, but so is the beauty. Huashan reminds us that some of the most powerful places demand both respect and courage. But China's secrets do not end with Mount Huashan. Far away in Xinjiang, hidden among high mountains, lies the mysterious Canis Lake. From above, the lake bends through the landscape like a shining green ribbon. Surrounded by forests, snowy peaks, and deep valleys, Canas looks almost unreal. The water changes color with the light, shifting between emerald green, deep blue, and silver. Locals sometimes describe it as the water of the moon, because of the strange glow it gives under sunlight. This lake was shaped by ancient glaciers, and its geological history reaches back millions of years. The area around Canas is also home to old legends and remote communities. Standing beside the lake, you feel as if the modern world has disappeared. There is only silence, cold wind, mountain shadows, and water so beautiful that it feels sacred. Canas Lake is more than a beautiful mountain lake. It is a place surrounded by mystery. Local stories speak of strange creatures living deep beneath the water, and some travelers claim they have seen unusual movements on the lake's surface. Whether these stories are true or not, they add to the mysterious feeling of the place. Around the lake, the forests are thick, the mountains are powerful, and the air feels untouched. In autumn, the entire valley transforms into gold, orange, and red. The reflection of the trees on the water creates a scene that looks like a moving painting. Long ago, ancient people lived near these rivers and mountains, leaving behind traces of their lives in caves and remote areas. Canas is not only a natural wonder, it is a place where history, legend, and wilderness come together in silence. From the cold mountains of Xinjiang, our journey moves south to Guangxi province, where the Longji rice terraces cover the hills like giant stairways. For more than 1,000 years, the Zhuang people have shaped these mountains by hand, turning steep slopes into beautiful fields. These terraces are not only farmland, they are a living artwork created by human patience and nature's rhythm. From a distance, the hills look like waves frozen in time. In spring and summer, when the terraces are filled with water, the sunlight reflects from each level like thousands of mirrors. The sky seems to fall onto the earth, and the mountain becomes a shining staircase. Every layer has a purpose. Every curve follows the shape of the land, and every field carries the memory of generations who lived and worked here. The Longji rice terraces show how deeply people can live in harmony with nature. Instead of destroying the mountains, the local people followed their shape and turned them into something useful and beautiful. These fields have fed families for generations, but they also carry spiritual meaning. Local traditions say the terraces were not built only for crops. They were also created as an offering to the heavens, so blessings could come down from the top of the hills. Even today, before harvest time, prayers and rituals are performed in the villages. Farmers walk through the terraces with respect because these fields are connected to their ancestors. In the morning mist, the terraces look peaceful and almost dreamlike. In harvest season, they turn golden. Longji is proof that when humans work with nature, the result can become timeless beauty. After the green terraces of Guangxi, the land suddenly changes into something completely different. In Gansu province, the Zhangjiajie landform rises from the earth like a rainbow frozen into stone. Red, yellow, orange, green, and grey layers stretch across the mountains in waves of color. It looks impossible at first, as if someone painted the hills with giant brushes. But this masterpiece was created by nature over millions of years. Minerals, sandstone, iron oxide, and geological pressure formed these colorful layers slowly through time. The result is one of the most unbelievable landscapes in China. When sunlight hits the mountains, the colors become stronger and more dramatic. From above, the entire area looks like a massive natural canvas. Zhangjiajie reminds us that the earth itself can be an artist, creating beauty far beyond human imagination. The Zhangjiajie Mountains are not only beautiful, they are also a powerful record of the Earth's ancient past. Every colored stripe tells a story of time, pressure, minerals, and movement beneath the surface. These formations took hundreds of millions of years to appear as they do today. Walking through this landscape feels like walking across the pages of a geological history book. In 2010, the area was recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, which helped bring worldwide attention to its rare beauty. But even with that recognition, the place still feels wild and strange. At sunrise and sunset, shadows move across the colorful ridges, making the mountains appear alive. The colors seem to change every few minutes. This is not a place that looks the same twice. Zhangjiajie is nature's rainbow written directly onto the earth. From the Rainbow Mountains, our journey climbs again toward the clouds, to Mount Fanjingshan in Guizhou province. This mountain rises more than 8,000 feet above sea level and feels like a staircase to heaven. Its steep stone paths lead visitors through forests, cliffs, and mist. After climbing thousands of steps, travelers reach one of the most unbelievable sights in China. At the summit, two ancient Buddhist temples stand on narrow rocky peaks, surrounded by clouds. They look as if they are floating between the sky and the earth. It is hard to imagine how these temples were built in such a dangerous location. Local legends say that a monk once dreamed of a Buddhist figure meditating on the mountaintop. Since then, Fanjingshan has been seen as a sacred place of pilgrimage and spiritual power. Mount Fanjingshan is more than a spiritual landmark. It is also a rare natural sanctuary. In 2018, UNESCO recognized it as a World Heritage Site because of its unique environment and biodiversity. The mountain is home to rare animals, including the famous Guizhou golden monkey. Thick forests cover the slopes, and in the rainy season, clouds wrap around the cliffs like a white ocean. When the mist rises, the two temples at the summit seem to float above the world. For pilgrims, this place represents peace, faith, and connection with something greater. For travelers, it feels like stepping into a scene from a legend. The climb is difficult, but the view at the top makes every step worth it. Fanjingshan is where nature and religion meet in one breathtaking vision above the clouds. Now we travel to another legendary mountain, Tianmen Mountain in Hunan Province. This place is famous for a huge natural arch known as Heaven's Gate. The opening sits high in the mountain, creating the appearance of a doorway to the sky. From below, it looks almost impossible, as if the mountain itself has been split open by a force beyond nature. Local legend says that long ago, an earthquake broke the mountain and created this giant arch. Since then, people have believed it to be a sacred gateway between earth and heaven. To reach the area, visitors must climb long stairways that rise toward the arch. Every step brings the gate closer, and the view becomes more powerful. Tianmen Mountain is not just a landscape. It is a symbol of mystery, belief, and wonder. The journey to Tianmen Mountain is itself an unforgettable experience. Visitors often ride one of the world's longest cable cars, moving from the city below toward the high cliffs above. As the cable car rises, the roads, buildings, and forests become smaller, while the mountain grows larger and more dramatic. The route gives travelers a breathtaking view of deep valleys, sharp cliffs, and winding mountain roads. For followers of ancient Taoist belief, Tianmen Mountain has long been considered a spiritual place. The clouds often gather around the peaks, making the mountain feel mysterious and sacred. Walking along the glass skywalks and cliff paths, visitors feel both fear and excitement. Tianmen is a place where natural beauty, danger, and spiritual imagination all come together. It truly feels like a road leading toward the heavens. Leaving the mountains behind, we enter the desert of China, where another mystery waits in Dunhuang. Here stands Mingsha Mountain, also known as the Singing Sand Mountain. The name may sound like a legend, but the sand really does create strange sounds. When strong winds blow across the dunes, the movement of the sand produces deep, echoing tones, almost like drums or distant music. For centuries, travelers crossing the ancient Silk Road heard these mysterious sounds in the desert. The golden dunes rise high under the sun, and the silence around them makes the sound even more powerful. Walking on the sand, you can feel how harsh and beautiful this environment is. Mingsha Mountain shows that even the desert, which seems empty at first, can hold secrets, voices, and stories carried by the wind. Beside Mingsha Mountain lies one of the most unbelievable sights in the desert, Crescent Spring. In the middle of dry sand dunes, this small oasis has survived for thousands of years. Its shape resembles a crescent moon, and its green water shines like a miracle against the golden desert. For travelers on the ancient Silk Road, this place was a life-saving paradise. After days of heat, dust, and endless sand, Crescent Spring offered water, shade, and hope. The surrounding desert is harsh, with extreme temperature differences between day and night. Yet the spring has not disappeared. Trees and plants continue to grow around it, creating a sharp contrast with the dry dunes nearby. Crescent Spring feels impossible because it stands as a symbol of survival. It proves that life can continue even in the most difficult places. From desert mystery, our journey moves into the fairy tale world of Jiuzhaigou Valley in Sichuan province. This valley is famous for its colorful lakes, clear water, snow-covered mountains, waterfalls, and forests. The water in Jiuzhaigou is so transparent that you can see rocks, branches, and ancient tree trunks beneath the surface. Every lake has a different color, from turquoise and blue to green and gold. The reason comes from minerals, sunlight, and the purity of the water. But when you stand there, science is not the first thing that comes to mind. It simply feels magical. The mountains rise around the valley like silent guardians, while waterfalls move through the forests with gentle power. Jiuzhaigou is one of those places where nature looks too perfect to be real, yet every scene truly exists. Jiuzhaigou becomes even more beautiful in autumn. During this season, the forests turn red, orange, yellow, and gold. These colors reflect on the clear lakes, creating images that look like paintings made by nature. In some places, you can see colorful leaves and ice in the same frame, as if two seasons have met at once. The silence of the valley makes the scene even more powerful. Every reflection, every waterfall, and every mountain shadow feels carefully arranged, although everything is completely natural. This is why many people call Jiuzhaigou a fairy tale landscape. It does not rely on man-made beauty. Its magic comes from water, light, forest, and time. For anyone who sees it with their own eyes, Jiuzhaigou becomes more than a travel destination. It becomes a memory that stays forever. This journey through unseen China reveals how diverse and mysterious one country can be. We began with dangerous mountain paths where every step tested courage. Then we moved to sacred lakes, ancient terraces, rainbow mountains, cloud temples, heavenly gates, singing deserts, and fairy tale valleys. Each place is different, but all of them share one thing. They feel larger than ordinary life. They remind us that nature still holds many secrets, even in a world where everything seems already discovered. These places are not only beautiful to look at, they carry history, belief, survival, and human connection. Some were shaped by glaciers, some by wind, some by geological time, and some by the hands of people working with nature. Together, they form a hidden side of China that many travelers never see, but once seen, can never be forgotten. From the cliffs of Mount Huashan to the calm waters of Canis Lake, from the Longji rice terraces to the rainbow hills of Zhangjiajie, from the cloud temples of Fanjingshan to the Heaven's Gate of Tianmen Mountain, from the singing sands of Dunhuang to the magical lakes of Jiuzhaigou, this journey shows only a small glimpse of China's hidden beauty. There are still countless valleys, villages, rivers, mountains, and deserts waiting to be discovered. The unseen China is not only about landscapes, it is about stories that live quietly beyond the crowded roads. It is about people, legends, faith, and nature's endless creativity. Some places make us feel fear. Some bring peace. Some leave us speechless. But all of them remind us that the world is still full of wonder. Until the next journey, keep exploring the unknown.